I'm gonna do the man spread.
Man spread.
Welcome to How They Roll. This is Robert Lee. Wasn't here last time, but I'm here now.
David's gonna love that introduction. Man spread. Welcome to How They Roll.
So we begin. So she's not here now, but we have to say a big thank you to Hazel, of course. Because of Hazel, she played a little bit of orc football, got the job done, moved those orc heads down the field, and we moved on.
Delivered the final blow, and then we started this episode with figuring out who's alive, which is luckily everyone, and looting the battlefield.
Yeah.
You guys weren't here for it, but we had the after conversation where we go, I had 1 hit point. How many hit points did you have? And like everybody had like 1 hit point.
It was a single digit.
That was good.
The only person that didn't have single digits was the fighter, which was funny with him running back and forth and back and forth.
That's impressive. That's impressive. So you all survived with 1 hit point or so.
Yeah, single digits. Yeah, it was very close. Davros, again with his natural 20s. He's a deathless boy right now.
Yeah. Anyways, party was intact, mostly at least. Poor dwarf, poor dad. But you saved a couple.
Yes. A couple of civilians and 2 individuals.
A couple in the literal sense.
No, we saved more than that.
There was a more.
The
The other ones
two
ran
at
down
the
the hill.
top.
There was 2 that stayed with you.
You saved 2 at the top.
And then like 5, like a handful at the cage.
They ran down towards the boat or whatever.
This is
Yeah.
right, and then but the most important one we saved was not there or there. It was the one girl we saved.
The little girl, yeah.
The little girl who we're all that some of the party was like, we should just kill her. She must be evil.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just punch her over the
I still
edge.
think so.
Punch her into the cliffside.
Don't care. Gotta save children. We have a children-centric saving party.
Yes, and we've definitely.
So carrying a bunch of bodies with you here, which instead of just
Dolonacia and
whatever.
I can't remember the butcher's name of the human.
Human butchers.
Well,
Yeah, he was a butcher. He was a town's butcher.
Human meat.
I think the
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, not that kind of butcher.
Yeah, not
Not a human butcher, but
Elf
a
meat.
human that happens to be a butcher. Gotcha.
Yes.
I think the saddest thing we're carrying is the fruit roll-up dad.
Yeah, spaghetti roll-up dad kind of too. That was odd. Little
Yeah, today was a lot of just messed up. Just nightmare fuel with the headless. The bodiless head rolling around with her tendril hair.
But the most interesting thing I found was Ek being nice to Sunny.
Oh no, you missed it. Ek and Sunny bonded.
Oh, very much so.
Was it the last episode or the one before? Where
Yeah, because he healed him a couple times, basically.
Well, but beyond that, it was that moment where Sunny's like, I'm making an effort here. It was the trap where Sunny brings himself in the trap way before. And then later on, we were in that room, and he and I had come to the moment to where it was like, okay, let's do things right. Where's everybody going? And we're just looking at each other going,
yeah, the hag's den. Yeah,
that was true.
I think the best friendships start off with
a little bit of
WTF moments.
A little strife, and I think you're going to find that Sunny and Ek become tighter throughout the whole thing.
I see that already here too.
Yeah.
Well, his story came out a bit in this one too. So Ek was a little mistrustful of you, basically because of your whole look.
Yeah. Well,
I mean that's a lot.
Pretty much everybody is.
Yeah.
I look undead.
You look like a walking corpse.
Yeah.
You don't look like you're rotting.
He had mistaken you for one of his old
something
keepers from the past, so it's like potentially. So it freaked him out.
One of these days we'll find out why he's that way. But Sunny and Varian are not like throwing out their previous history like everybody else is trying to do.
Over there, this last episode was everybody's little previous history. Okay, let's find out. What's a Warforged? What's an Ek?
What's a turtle? What are you?
Yeah, that was kind of good.
What's your brother?
Hazel even got into her little thing there,
no.
which I appreciated there with the monastery and all that stuff.
Watch your eyeballs. There we go.
And see, this is the moment in the game where we're always like, and then they're like, okay, let's start, and we're all.
Oh, I thought the game was over. Where am I? Yes, anyways. LA traffic can't be.
So yeah, no, it was a different type of game. It was very much tearjerker.
It was a lot of.
It was a lot of.
It was a lot
which was
of.
good.
We just handled a big slaughterfest. Now we have to pick up the pieces, which is looting. took all the stuff of the hag. Which I'm like, oh, okay.
But you
And
forgot
the hag.
But you forgot the hag.
Yeah, the Eric and Mary. And I love that. I love that Chris slash Derek asked, "What's her name?"
And then he's carrying around those 2 paws.
Oh yeah, the 2 paws. Yeah, but he did surprise me on like, I'll accept one of the things if you leave us the fuck alone. That was for someone like that. I mean, that was like a noble thing to do. But he now has those severed paw kitten hands just mushed together.
And we'll see how all that iron out later.
Yeah. I mean, it's just pie.
But
It's just pie.
well, hold on. The other thing is that moment where the robot, as I call him,
The automaton, Sparks.
was least robotic when he had to go back and tell his family that he failed, and then he got the new mission, his new mission that we're all kind of.
Yeah. Before we even go into that, first of all, the 2 people that had the most emotional spotlight of the game are not here today.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah, there were suddenly, they were busy. They couldn't make it. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they're just like, oh, look at that. We got stuff to do. And they disappeared. I'm like, difficult.
Well, the
Fairness, I
Fallout.
did that last week, so go for it.
Well, I mean,
There-
Mine was LA traffic.
want to talk about your emotional downpour and about your open up into feelings of your character? Nah, we got stuff to do. Okay, see you later then.
So,
Makes
well,
sense.
Eck,
Let everyone have the questions, Albert.
Eck, who had an emotional moment, also had the emotional player moment. So it was kind of a twofold for him, because he realized that he literally killed his other character. And
Very much so, yeah.
And we're dealing with the fallout. But if it's always about the story for the game, but it's a lot about the experience for the player.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And for him, that was the.
Oh, it hit him.
And that was definitely uncharted territory. He's never done that before. I never did that
He's
before.
trying.
We're having a player character that he created.
Yeah.
He created his entire backstory, poured his soul into it, and goes, "Hi, everybody! This is a cool character." And then suddenly,
I've met a retired character of mine by a DM before, but I've never killed my character.
Yeah, and then suddenly to unintentionally try to save him, trying to search for him, and single-handedly kill his character. No question, no doubt about it. Kill his character.
His blade at that. Yeah.
And then he had to bury him. It was just.
At least he brought him back to the truth.
Yeah, but he didn't do the one thing, which is follow the advice of Eric and Mary. When someone asked, when Sonny asked that we want him revived, no consequences kind of deal, essentially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he simple answer: take it to the capital.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in charge of that one, so I helped with the questions. Sonny's becoming a pragmatist, strangely enough. He's now that he has what he perceives as the group that can help him protect his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which his brother does a lot of stuff that is super lucky.
I know. I almost think this man has a luck
so
feat,
be
but
honest.
that's not even it.
I'm talking over you. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. It's okay.
Yeah, you first.
Honestly, it's like he has the luck feat, but no, that's
No,
not even.
no.
Is it? Is it?
No, his personal self has the luck feat. He has the luck feat. But there's times he should be on his ass and he should be on the floor, ass up with his face into the dirt. But it just somehow things happen that he doesn't get hit.
Yeah, he steps backwards.
I've attempted to hit him in open field where he should be hit, and it's just nope, he doesn't get hit. I'm like, well, fuck me.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if that's I get into my personal beliefs. I think there's a universal thing to the universe here, and it works out the way it does. And I think that the way Jace plays his character, he pours in the reality
That's what I'm saying.
of what this
Play
character
your
would
games.
be like.
The game has a mind of its own sometimes.
Yeah.
It really
Oh,
does.
it does.
It really does.
But the playing for just simplicity's sake, let's say, Barian is a simpleton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's playing a simpleton in a non-offensive way.
I like waffles.
Yeah, I like waffles. You know,
Yeah,
flan.
waffles are good.
You know,
You
and
don't
all
like
that.
these waffles.
But he's playing a what some people would call a mentally challenged character with respect, and I think that's
we're
That's
definitely not
important.
making this one the what's the character the slapstick of the characters of like you take a certain trait of a human being and you just make it overly excessive to make it the slapstick. No,
I see it as the
I
Rain
don't
Man
see
almost, but
him-
actually in that way because he was very emotional. You could actually connect with that guy, and that
Yeah.
kind of can with him. And it's like,
Yeah, no, he's trying to make it respectful, and I respect as a person. This is a very challenging way to present a character,
Yep.
especially in the public eye with you guys watching it. Is sometimes a touchy aspect of mental disability, and we don't want to make it like, oh, look at that, that's funny. No.
If we continue to do this for years, you'll see the rest of Jace's characters have just as much personality
oh yeah.
as that one does.
I just have to kill him.
No, let's not.
Well, leave the sadistic.
Although I do love my
That's his
backup
job.
character.
See, that's so funny. It's like I'm laughing at you say this, but I was just going to get to that point. It's like the DM's job isn't to kill you,
It's to,
but the DM's job is to try to kill you.
yes, it's
It's
to
give you a
put
challenge, to give you a
challenges out there.
Correct.
It's to put challenge, strife, and story onto the battlefield, and
Exactly.
basically just put a bunch of stuff out there and say, what do you do?
Let's see, you slaughtered this thing last time. What if we give you 20 this time?
Well,
no,
not
no.
like that.
No,
That's
I know.
simple.
I know,
That's
I know.
simple.
I think
Yeah.
just for the viewers at home, every person who plays, I think, at the table is a DM.
Yes,
To a degree,
everyone
yes,
at
very
our
true.
game
To
is
their
a
own
DM.
character,
And
they are, yes.
depending on how things go in the future, you may get to see some of that. But the bottom line is, the DM's job is not to try and kill the characters. It's the DM's job is to give them an opportunity to die, and it's up
That's
to
a
them.
good way
That's
to
what
word
it
it too.
is.
Yeah, I like that too. That's
Yes,
another way.
and at least with my experience, a lot of the times when characters die is not because of a single combat. It's because you play. It's like a good example. Deck of Many Things. You don't tell them to pull it. You don't
That's
give
true.
them the option to pull it. You just put it in front of them. They go, "Oh, what's this?" And actually, no, their voice is sucked out of their body.
True.
Or
Which-
since David's not here, sometimes you kill your own character,
Yeah, that too.
your other character.
Oh, true.
Hi, Dave.
You just love being on camera,
Anyways,
don't you?
yeah, that's so funny. Well, the DM's job, I see as a storyteller and a referee. I mean, that's pretty much all they're there for.
It really is.
And
It's
so, yeah, they
referee.
throw the challenges out there and everything, yeah, and they kind of have to wing it and go for it. I mean, it's a lot more than just what I just said, but that boils down to.
And in his case, it's part DJ. Because
Oh, yeah, here's the music. though.
right music at the right time, especially when
And then
we're having the moments.
Yeah, where are the moments where the technology just says, "I don't want to work."
Yes.
Although I have to admit, I'm so glad we're out of the rain for now, because that background stuff made me have to pee.
Yeah, no more lightning stuff.
Oh, the lightning wasn't bad. It was that constant
Oh, the lightning,
siren.
the rain, yeah, just in general. It was just-
Yeah, I did give the Skyrim door up that adventure just to get out of there.
Yeah, it's done with the rain.
Yeah, because
No one complained on that one. I
no,
guess.
it's just like, well, if you attack the horse, then you don't get the Skyrim door, and it's one of those mythical. Not Greek. It's Norse. Thank you. Yeah, Greece and I know people are having nosebleeds because I just said that, but yeah, it's a Norse mythology
Oh, you guys.
of the
no, yeah.
eight-legged horse.
Yeah.
And when I first read that creature, first of all, it's not in the a normal 5th edition. It's an
Okay.
attachment. It's under the Cobalt Soul, and I love their books. Check out their books; they're awesome. One of them had this figure in it, but the one thing I didn't agree on is that it had the normal strength of a warhorse. I'm like, bullshit. That thing would
Mythical
not.
beast, sure, why not?
Yeah. It had a 19 strength originally. I'm like, with 8 legs and of how it describes it and how fast it is, I would not have it the same strength and same speed as a regular warhorse. So I made a slightly different for those that looked up the creature, and I know people will. So I did modify it a tiny bit to make it more what I would believe personally of what that creature
So
would
this
be
one
standing.
traversed the Rainbow Bridge on its own. I did. So.
Well, I mean, this one was a
Something.
this one is a flush version of it because it's summoned like just a random like skiff behind it that you guys could sit on it.
Oh, nice.
So you guys
I do
So
remember.
it
I
definitely
forgot
had
about, I forgot
something else.
About, it was like Santa almost. You guys,
Oh,
you guys all got in the sled and it's like,
His name was
wait,
Rudolph.
and Barry was Santa Claus. And he was going to give gifts to all the children.
Oh God.
It's not exactly how it happened. happen. But yeah, that's I don't know
I
why
didn't-
that
I
thought
didn't
came
think
to my
of
head
that
when I
until
was
now.
watching though. It really did though.
And I curse you for putting that in my head.
See, now you thought about it too. So
Yeah,
it wasn't
no,
just me.
now I thought about it, and I curse you for making me thinking about it that way.
So anyways,
But yeah, it was just.
but it was interesting in this game though. I have to say, with Eck actually being grateful, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, he definitely opened up to the group because
He really did.
With it, he's a middle-aged turtle. Turtles
Yep.
only live until like 50, 60. He's 25. He's in middle age, and he's looking at these rowdy kids and like, you guys are dumbasses. You're gonna get me killed and my brother killed.
except I'm older than he is.
Well, like you said, he
Which
was
is
also
fine,
raised.
but age is not. Wisdom is not.
He did bring up that he was, since an egg, he was raised by the Marquette and very distrustful of anyone because of them. So
Well, but if you look at what happened with Eck, he started off not just with Sonny, but with a couple of people
Correct.
kind of abrasive.
yep.
And as people, which I would assume, I have no basis of reference for slavery and all that other stuff
Yeah.
other than what I've read in stories, but you'd have to think that it would take time to trust.
Oh yeah, I would tell you. I'd say.
And each person in the group has bonded kind of with him in a way,
Yep.
doing things. I mean, the respect he has for is that all you got?
Davros. Yeah.
Davros, the respect he has for Davros, and
The fact that he's still alive, damn.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, that's
because the
even
Davros-
the Orcs gave respect. It's like, dude,
Right. Here, where are
Respect.
Here, good job. Wow, good job.
Davros and Caitlin and even the dread fighter Derek.
Yeah.
They've all proven themselves either in battle or with strength or constitution. All the things that he respects.
Yep, that is true.
Yeah, I don't think and Eck's not here to talk about it, but the bottom line is I don't think Eck has ever thought that it would be anything other than him and his brother. I think it was him and his brother versus the world. And
Look at his
that
brother's
is very
reaction.
true. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell a little thing. And when he first originally created his backstory, I literally went through the door to talk to him about it because we had to. I had to remind him that slavery is a culture. Yeah, unfortunately, slavery is a culture when you're in this slavery. You're a slave yourself, and you're in that kind of horrific situation. There's a strange culture to it. It's almost like a brotherhood kind of deal. Those that are around you, those that you're with, your chain brothers, quite literally become your family. And originally, he did not say that at all. He just said, "I'm a slave." And I'm like, you don't do that. There's a concept behind it. There's an entire way of thinking
there's a
behind
psychology to it.
There's a psychology. I mean, even the concept of developing your own freedom of choice is a skill. And if you've never been given that opportunity to do so, to develop those skills to make it,
something for you. It's like, yeah.
you quite literally just sit there and go, what am I doing?
No, movie reference. You should probably watch Django.
That was an amazing movie.
Because Django gives you there's some great lines in it about slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them's like where Leonardo DiCaprio's like, I just don't know. There's 500 of you and 10 of us.
Yeah.
Why are we not all dead? Kind of. That's not the line, but that's what he's trying to do.
Oh, okay.
And in slavery, it's a bad thing, and it's as much as they're oppressing you with the whip and the chain, they're oppressing you with
It's mental.
and it's
90%.
You can't escape it. Don't even try.
Yeah, you break down the barriers of the mind so that they don't have any capability of thinking that they have what it takes to break free from for themselves.
Yeah.
And
I think
Amnesty International, everybody.
Well, and I think
God, this is.
no.
And just to
we
be
just
honest-
went on a very dark tangent.
I know we
So-
did, but we acknowledge that it did happen. But
Oh,
again,
yeah.
just to make it clear, we don't think slavery is good.
No,
right?
it's bad.
No, it's bad.
But
we were definitely clear
But
on that,
we
yeah.
understand that there's more of a meaning to it than just saying I'm a slave. No,
Yeah.
No,
that
but
is bad storytelling.
But for Eck, it takes time to trust, especially when one of the people in the new party looks like the people who enslaved him.
Yeah.
It takes a moment to bond because what he went through with his chain brothers had to be so much more than what we went through at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And the silly people that did the pie party downstairs while he was technically upstairs.
Taking a nap or whatever.
Yeah, and all of that, it took time for him to. I mean, the way he looked at Barian at the beginning, the way he looked at Sonny,
True.
There's one point where he looks at Barian and he just goes, and but then he gains respect, especially after the fight with Barian, where he has Flan and the other guy has the bigger rock, and they do the fan dance with each other, and he stood toe to toe. I mean, Eck, I can't speak for Eck, but I think he notices all of that, and I think with the stuff that Caitlin did and the stuff that Derek did, and just the different people doing things, it built life and death. We almost all died.
Essentially, every single person except Barian.
How many hit points do y'all have? 1. How many hit points do y'all have? 2. How many hit points do y'all have? Barian up?
Oh, Barian
24.
Barian only had 1 hit point. Never mind.
No, Barian was at 1 hit point.
Was it 2? Okay.
The brothers both came out with 1 hit point.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, Sonny has something that had he gone down would have helped him, but
That's
you
fine.
guys don't get to
There's
see
no
that yet.
guarantee that we'd still be up. Because you still have to make a minor DC roll.
Yeah.
But
Wake you up, I got you.
it's still a good chance of getting back up.
Yeah, so.
Unless you get hit with like a disintegration.
That's not gonna happen. No disintegration.
Not yet, at least.
Lightning, but not disintegration.
Well, technically, it was on the board.
I haven't got hit by lightning yet.
That arrogant Mary, she might be arrogant as implied by her name, but she's definitely something else. As you guys have found that out with her, just
You think?
cackling in the background.
That's fine. We peace out. She can go away.
Please, you've already dealt with other hags. It's like it's.
She was ready. I was
real-
ready for haggling and stuff like that. I was like,
Okay.
"What do you want?"
I was talking about the hag actually.
No.
Yeah, I am. Well, hags
Haggling.
love haggling. It's kind of their name. They love bartering. They love.
Oh,
making
well,
deals.
that's a fake creature in general. That's because they're trying to basically corrupt you and get you.
Yeah,
Oh, good
they
point.
love. They love.
I don't think we have a very corruptible party. No, I in general.
No, you're right.
If you
No,
look
I'm
at
thinking I did. I
Jury's out on
was,
that one.
I was
Jury's
working
out.
my way around the table.
Sonny is 100%.
I worked
nothing
my
to
way
hurt,
around the table, so no, yeah, you're
to
right.
hurt the brother.
Wait.
Davros has his own deal. That I think he has his own honor, and that
Oh, that's
I
what I
can't
said.
speak for him. But you look at Caitlin. She doesn't know where she's from,
The
I guess, or
monk-
whatever.
the monk- Oh, she remembers the monster. She was talking about it for crying
But-
out loud.
You're talking about Katrina?
Yeah,
Oh, Hazel. Okay.
Hazel. I keep calling her Joanne. Hazel has her own thing, and although it seems like Derek might be a little able to go.
He may be on the chaotic side, but I think
because he made a deal.
He did make a deal, but he made a noble deal.
Yes, he did.
He definitely made a noble deal. I will go behind that all 100% of the way of, this lady, because I can definitely see his thought process. This lady's going to just treat us like her toys.
Yeah.
Shush. Treat her like her toys until the end of the world, until she's done breaking her toys. Unless we make a deal with her. I know.
Battery's not included.
Yeah, stop it.
Sorry. Anyways,
I didn't say anything.
I know.
You didn't tell
I
me
saw
not
your
to.
brain working, don't worry.
you didn't tell me not to. Anyways, so you got the ride home. Got on Santa's sled with the 8-legged horse.
Burned
Long
the
rest.
body.
Finally, like guys got a long rest. After
All
how-
level 5 now.
Yeah, which is
all
funny.
level 5. And
Finally,
that was
after
my
they
goal,
took a long
to get
rest, but they got
everyone
it.
to level 5.
Yeah, that's so funny.
And it was a cheat.
And then it's like you discovered that you can make hot chocolate out of dirt. And it's like,
Well, I mean, with the
and then
several
real
people-
marshmallows popped up out of nowhere. That was amazing.
No, there was not real marshmallows. It was just like an illusion, like almost like a cappuccino where you make the images on the surface of the liquids. Kinda like
No,
that.
it was your dad bringing the real ones out as well. I'm
Oh,
referring
yeah.
to
Oh.
yes.
Oh,
Hey, you ate one too.
I did not eat one.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did
Everyone
not
else
eat
did
one.
pretty much.
Everyone else did, and I just stopped and stared at him. Jace didn't eat one either.
Yeah.
Burnt the body of
Yeah, father
figure.
of Sparks.
Yeah.
Yeah, father was
Gave
burned,
him
torched, wrapped him in flammable crap.
After
Well, he was in hide material.
Yeah,
it would
that's it.
burn.
after taking a huge amount of time to find the wood. Which is
Yes.
hilarious.
Yes.
And then everyone's watching.
He just disappeared
And then-
during the night. He came
I've
back
never
in-
heard anyone describe it quite as you did there. It's like, well, as the bandages burn off, the hair flays away. You can start seeing the
It's
skin.
a dark.
It was just
people-
like-
okay.
that was
There's
just
a
like-
thing about people think that burning bodies in this burning burial thing is a beautiful thing. It's not.
No, it's not.
You're burning human.
Correct, but the way you were describing
Yeah,
it, you didn't need to get
it
that.
might be a
that
spiritual
detail.
send-off in some cultures, but it's not in any way, pretty or kind to be there.
You left off the best descriptor though. It smells like bacon.
You did.
Okay.
I like bacon.
Oh,
So you guys finally decided you're not the Orc Slayers. You're not Flan and Friends.
I like Flan and Friends.
I did like that too.
Yeah,
I would have voted for that. If I was
this
there.
was quite literally being called into the principal's office. With Soldier Boy, with the captain of the guard. Yeah. Not to mention that black powder is a thing in rifles.
Correct. I mean, you got
the Lord Nausia.
little mixture of steampunk in there with all that stuff.
She
too.
got
incantations and magic all around.
Somehow got a modern Thiesel Committee rifle, and whatever her profession is and whatever she's doing here, got robbed. And it was like, there's the case. Gave one as a thank you for saving her life.
Yeah.
To Hazel, followed by go greet his brother at the brothel.
And she did take a shot for us.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated that.
2 shots.
No, the first shot was for her.
Oh yeah, the first shot.
The second shot, I asked her, what one for us?
One for each leg.
Yeah.
One for
Murder is still
near death.
illegal. However, in this situation, she'll basically just get a slap on the wrist for.
If we had had time, I would have went and killed him myself.
No.
That's fair.
I'd have let him meet Flan. He needed to meet Flan, flat out in the head.
Go in another minute.
Someone's
Sorry, we were just
coming in the door.
communicating in the background kind of deal.
Anyway, so
But,
we got to hear more about Spark's backstory there. Him being Warforged and all that, how they're created almost to a degree. A little bit of in-depth detail going on with that.
Yep.
Without giving too much away with it too, which I was like,
He ripped his papers of independence immediately.
which was hysterical because
Yeah.
that wasn't even intentional.
No.
He did roll for it. I give him credit there.
He rolled for it. He rolled like a low number. Hey, Pippin.
But you guys all got paid for your heroism, which is good. So.
Yep. You got paid 500
500
gold.
5,000.
5,000.
5,000 gold, 5th level. Holy.
And I went shopping.
Now I would
Yes, you
have.
did. Everyone went shopping while Eck and Sparks had a moment. Everyone found out that you were wanted criminals in some way, shape, or form, or were
But
not.
that was okay because you can earn your citizenship or how to keep your citizenship.
No, yeah, it was just funny. It was funny.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
I was reading, up until this point, I could not let on that everyone was wanted for
That was good.
for something, and that was where I was able to let everyone know. It's like, oh, you're wanted, you're wanted, you're wanted. Sparks, you're not wanted yet. Sparks
is always wanted.
Sparks is the only person that's not wanted right now.
That's because
But at the end of the day, with him traveling with this group,
that's it.
he's
The
definitely
group, the rescuers. No, that was it.
well. I mean,
Not the Orc Slayers, not
he's
the
definitely
Revengers.
gonna be
That was also
brought in
given.
for questioning.
Avengers couldn't be used as well. Trademark name. of
We
course.
should have been the Reeve.
Men in Black. That was again trademark name. So,
Yeah.
so then they went with not the fellowship, not the kinship, but no,
No,
the
I-
kindred strangers.
The kindred strangers. Hey, Chris.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Yeah, he's
Honey.
been here the whole time. You guys just made your observational.
LA traffic. Don't
Why
let
don't
him
you
fool
move a
you.
little bit further this way, please?
LA
There we
traffic.
go. Now
Don't
you're
let
in
him
that
fool
picture.
you.
And hey, if you're gonna, I'm gonna. Nathan did not think I was making this movie reference. I was making a movie reference when I said about the wanted posters about the nose being a little too big. I was making that reference. Hey, you made the reference about your character. I'm gonna make a movie reference with my character. Okay.
Well, I thought he might have a wanted poster eventually. I just wasn't expecting it that soon, that much.
What was it again?
Wait.
3,000 gold pieces. I
Yeah,
believe.
5,000? 3,000?
So,
Yeah, 3,000 gold pieces. It has like 10, 11 different names of noble people.
How do I get in this game? No, it's okay. It's all good.
That's okay. I'm sure
It's gonna
it'll
be.
go
It's
up
gonna
as
be.
the
It's gonna be a
campaign goes
drow.
on.
I mean, a high elf,
But
a thief.
yes,
He can turn you in.
I am not a thief.
He can turn
No,
you in
my
and
character
break
would
you
be.
loose.
Oh, that would piss them right off.
What? Turn him in, break him loose.
Yeah.
Turn you into break up with all like
Yeah, that would
movies. I love
royal.
it.
That would be
The good, the bad, and the
We
ugly.
could just go from town to town.
The good,
letting
the
him
bad,
catch
and the
one of
ugly.
us.
It's already been done.
I will say nothing and how the world works. You will be
I love
learning it along with the rest
What
of the
movie does
people.
that remind me of? Oh,
That's
yeah,
the-
Dragonheart.
Oh my god, that one too.
Oh my
They stole
God.
it from the good, the bad, the ugly.
You're just going to be the
Way
person
back
with all
there.
the movie references.
Okay.
Everything about your
Oh,
backstory is
mercy.
about these movie references, isn't it?
At least you kept it in genre. I went spaghetti western. Anyhow.
That's right.
Hello, Train.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about something, but I completely got derailed. Oh well.
So, anyways, after all that, you guys, the child and the mom were all sad because Sparks comes in and say, "Where's Father? Father, where's Father?
Oh.
Is Father here?"
No, that was even worse. The thing with the brother.
He's, and then, well, there was,
the redhead. The redhead.
But
that
who was it
serving
that
the
said?
tables.
But who was it? There was no diplomacy, no kindness or anything about it. It was almost like she's dead, Jim. It almost came out that way. It was just like,
Well, not to mention giving a heart attack to ex-brother Ga.
Oh, that one too.
He was a war-torn veteran just coming back from the battlefield alone and just holding equipment,
And
and
guys
she's
just-
just asking.
but they did the right thing.
Yeah, as he's having a heart attack.
No, he's right behind us.
Oh, that was hysterical.
God, if he had the little fake jaw, he would have threw it at you, I'm
depressing
sure.
moment with the small little fire redhead child helping with the tavern, just
Oh,
going
yeah.
upstairs, having the very, emotional, but how Nathan did it, and I know I made my brother cry again. I know I made my father cry again. I know I'm a terrible person for doing that, but it was an incredible moment. That had so much depth, in my opinion. Because he was breaking down before he even opened the door, before the scene even began. In turn, beginning the scene.
Father, where's Father? Did Father make it?
Is Papa coming home for Christmas, Mommy?
Good thing Sonny wasn't there.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, anyway.
He would have been like, no, he was rolled up and we burned him.
He
True.
died.
Oh,
He died a while back.
That would be like the dagger and then proceed.
Well,
to
then
kill.
asking,
No,
where,
they were
and then
destroyed.
she was asking too, where was he? Where'd you burn him? It's like, one, don't know why that mattered so much.
Well, I mean,
I'm sure we'll find out later.
she's just grasping for any bit of knowledge. To
or
have
try and
any-
maybe some piece of him that maybe
Yeah, just a
survived.
piece of him, a grave to go to, do something, anything. It's because her entire world is crashing down.
She still has the tavern. Now it's all hers.
Yeah, it's.
And really, if
all according to plan.
and really, if Sparks wanted to be cool, she should get royalties off that book that he has when he figures out how to use it.
Oh, the book, yeah. The book that he
He can
opened.
kick down some royalties.
Yeah,
and
yeah. The little notebook that had the 50%.
This kid's got it made.
destroyed.
That's all I can say. No dad, but hey, he's got it made.
Yeah, no, and it's funny. Hey, he told me to tell me. Nathan told me in the beginning of the game, before the game started, give me a reason to leave town. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He made that mistake.
He's looking for
That's
true
right.
resurrection.
Don't ask your DM to do things
That's
for
right.
you. Actually, please
But it is one of the most powerful settings. And then we moved right to Eck, with him just looking at the grave, and then the brother scene between Ga and no vocalization. I'm tuning my own.
Oh, that was so funny. Just watching it. I know it's supposed to be emotional. I was kind of laughing only
Well,
because he's like,
Ga was.
because you guys are all like, what the hell?
Yeah, he was being the mind. Yeah, I mean,
It was so
God had no information going into this. He was just happy that his brother's back. He's like, yeah, he's dead, but you're back.
Yeah,
he had nothing to go by. He wasn't like.
And David with the, I let him die, our charge, and the brother's like, you're okay? It's all good with me. You know, kind of thing.
He's still a little confused on what actually happened. He never really truly explained it, but he got a little pissed off when David Eck was trying to. We gotta separate. We can't be together. He was like, stupid.
Oh, I know.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
like, we don't want the master forger with us. That would be terrible.
Hey.
You find some armor that doesn't fit. No, then can't have that.
No, yeah. And
Anyway.
I can understand his thought process about everyone that's coming around me is starting to die. With all the people of the group falling left, right, and center.
But the best part for me though, after Sparks' whole thing there, with mom and dad, or excuse me, and mom and dead dad, and baby kid there, it's like, I'll get him back. I'll bring him back.
He left his sword behind. Actually, he has his new sword, but he left his sword behind.
But then he promised again, I'll bring him back. I will not break this promise.
Yeah.
How?
I know. I honestly did not know how that scene was going to go. Because
I don't think he did.
He didn't either.
No, I know.
Depending on what Sparks said, did, and promised would depend on their future relationship. On their future relationship. If he just said, "Yeah, I killed him," that would have just destroyed everything and would have basically created blood.
Well, he would have had to have said something about it.
Because truthfully, he really did kind of kill him.
Yeah, he did.
Well, he had to.
No. On the top of the mountain. He killed him.
He made a choice.
He made a choice that got his father killed.
Yeah.
He charged forward. He didn't choose A or B.
That's true.
He chose C and charged forward.
That's true.
If he had waited like 2 more minutes and Sonny had got his whole thing going on.
No, he's unwise. He's unwise. He plays his character. He does it well. Yeah, he has like an 8 wisdom. No, like a 6 wisdom.
I talked the orc out of his truce with the other person. If he had just not charged forward, we probably could have got the dad out.
It's very possible.
Or just chose the other person. Just said, kill that person. I don't know.
I don't know. You don't trust orcs.
Oh, no, I didn't. That's why I dropped the fireball on him.
That's right.
Why you play dwarves? I hate
He did the Hadouken.
Yeah. Oh, look, you're all in one spot.
Oh, then you feeling like your right leg right now?
Oh, yeah. And my shoulder. No, my right leg.
Just right leg.
Right leg, yeah.
Yeah, being a little skeletal bones in the shadow, it's a little weird.
Yeah, but all the undead and everything there, and his dad became undead after that anyway.
Yeah, that's where I had the bad news from. Like,
he had to kill him then. So.
Well, you had to kill him twice.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
He did.
He watched his dad.
He was responsible for the first death.
See, he watched his dad.
Orcs are responsible for the first death.
He could have chose the girl.
No, seriously. He watched his dad get caught by the orcs, taken away. He gets up there, getting ready to rescue him. He chooses badly. His dad is dead, basically at his hand. And then, really at his hand, when he becomes undead, he is dead.
Well, at that point, he doesn't have much of a choice.
And he
can't resurrect. You can't resurrect an undead. So it's
most undead you can't.
Period. You really can't.
And even arrogant
a wish spell could probably be the only way to really do it.
Yeah,
resurrection might work.
Yeah, but even arrogant Mary was like, that's going to be hard to do.
And there's these things called gods. Just saying.
Yeah, you mean the gods that got separated from this realm?
Yeah.
They create a body for him, I guess.
I've been in other worlds in the same universe where those gods made appearances, so it could happen.
That is true.
Just saying.
My first campaign, I rolled critical success when I was praying my god, and he restored an eye that got poked out by another character, and then from then on, the character's name was Robert the Blessed because he was answered by his god and that was my first campaign.
That God's using that eye for his own personal TV show, right?
Who knows?
Yeah.
But, no, it's hysterical because
it is possible if you roll critical.
I've done
success
very
twice,
well.
so
I've done very well with my character. It's
like
I had a sea elf that was basically played like Barry in here, and it was hysterical because it's like he thought his god was talking to him all the time. And he kept rolling critical successes, meaning his god really was talking to him all the time.
We don't know any characters like that, do we?
No,
it was
absolutely not. No.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Last campaign we played, my character,
campaign 1,
my character dialed up God every 7 days.
Well, you and Percival.
Yeah.
They got answers.
And they showed up.
It was quite like you just hot dialed.
No, this one's God was just telling him jokes all the time. So.
You tip the concierge to make sure that you get the straight dial straight to the straight to the head office.
Oh mercy! So, anyways, you guys, you got your money, 500 gold.
500 gold.
You're now conscripted in to go to Capital City and do whatever the hell this guy.
Well, at this point, you guys, some are thinking. No. Yeah, going to the capital city. Some want to go there.
I would rather go to a volcano than the capital city.
There's something there.
By a chance.
Yeah.
There's something there.
They don't know that yet. But
I knew it.
I would rather be dipped upside down in the three hells than right now than go to the capital city. Now that I know that I'm wanted,
What
that's
layer
a
of
bad
hell
move.
you resurrected from?
Whatever one, just away from any place with that many police officers.
yeah, you know the Vosmer, the capital of the Rosian Empire, is gonna be.
Yeah, no, screw that place.
Yeah.
We can go out in the wilderness and just go camping.
It's the road to capital city.
No,
Let's
screw
go.
that.
Yeah. Just follow
We're
the
on the
yellow brick
road to capital city.
I'm sure we can get into plenty of trouble anywhere we go.
Yes,
I'm sure that I'm sure of.
But
We will be in trouble
I just want to
wherever
point
we
out the
go.
amount of decisions you guys have already made in this short amount of time about finding the lost girl to the captain of the guard, creating a different branch of the story, killing the father and the girl, saving the butcher and the woman dwarf with the silver hair. That seems very small for a dwarf even, but
the kindred strangers.
yeah, and all right, that was. I made that comment just to get things over with. And
I
he's
thought
I'm
that
just
was
gonna
hysterical.
I'm just going to put the strangers here, all right, man?
I understand it. No,
Yeah.
kindred. It's like,
Yeah, no, like
fine, kindred strangers. We'll
Yeah.
like it. We'll go.
And it's kindred with a Y because in Aquin, that's how you would say it. It's more of a old spelling of a kindred, not kindred with an I. It's kindred with a Y.
I'm still thinking.
Sorry, I was
Flan and
thinking about what you were
friends.
Flan and
saying. It
friends.
just kind of caused me to. So,
Additionally, this bird is camera hungry. He will not sit over on his cage. Every time I
Well,
put him
because he
off,
can't see himself on screen.
yeah, he
Yeah.
can't see himself on screen. Is that what you're looking at? Is that what you're looking at? Yeah, that's what he's looking at. He loves being in this position. He wants to know
For those of you, there's a screen right there we can see.
exactly.
So,
Now he broke the magic. I guess that's going to have to be all for today.
So yeah,
Thank you so much. No, Matt, no. Thanks.
hey, we got to record it somehow.
Ironically, this is how they rolled, and
Episode 6 of How They Rolled, and thank you again for joining us on this session. I know we just talk and just wherever we go, we just kind of roll anywhere we please, but that's us.
another roll reference. See how you are?
and you know what? Roll out.
Oh.
Hey, that's the name of my damn blog.
Oh, I smell the cheese there. It's grungy.
Yeah, it's still the name of my blog, so that's gonna. Gotta get it in there somewhere.
Yeah, Disney's gonna kill you, man.
They can't hold me to it, so they didn't make it up.
Time to go get food.
I need food too.
Okay.
Food is
Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.